Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. I'm Fnan, that is Asha. We are back today to review Real Housewives of New Jersey, Season 13, Episode 12. I want to say thank you all for being patient with us on the uploads. I will admittedly say I have been super busy. Trips have been coming, things have been going. Appreciate y'all's patience. Um, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe today, yesterday, and tomorrow. Just do it. We want to hear what you think. Um, yeah, so let's go ahead and get started with the episode 12 review here. So the girls, it's a continuation of what happened in episode 11. So the girls are leaving dinner and they get on the bus to get back to the castle. Melissa leaves with her glass of wine, and she is very drunk and very horny. And she says she would like to drunk dial her ex. And Teresa's like, her ex? And it was very interesting to see that. They get up the next morning, have breakfast all together. Melissa kind of walks in a little hungover. It looks like because she did drink a lot. And this is the day that they all meet Dolores's boyfriend, Polly's mother, niece, and sister. And the girls are on their very best behavior, like we thought. They've got some couth, C-O-U-T-H, because you can't spell it either. Shout out to Nicki Minaj. I'm still annoyed that Dolores tried to clock the girls to be on their best behavior when Polly's mom would be around, because they've got couth. They would know that. But it looks like a really cute thing. It looks like Polly's mother really loves Dolores, and Jennifer asks Polly's family like what they think of Dolores, and they all really have great things to say. And it really, again, like looks like they really love her. Danielle all of a sudden starts crying when she hears Polly's sister talk about her brother. I guess it's like a little bit of a triggering thing for her, just because her brother and her are not on speaking terms at this point. All of a sudden, Dolores comes up to Polly's mother with the Real Housewives of New Jersey men calendar. And I think Dolores asks if she thinks all of them are hot, and she doesn't think so. And I'm like, I know that's right. Our old mother, or well, I shouldn't say our I'll just say Polly's mother doesn't think they're hot, and I respect that because she's a wise woman.
Mother.
Oh, I don't want to call her old. Like that's kind of mean, right? I don't know. And then all of a sudden she asks her about Frank. She's like, "Is this your ex?" And she was like, "Yes." And she was like, "Hmm." And all the girls start busting out laughing, and then they all start getting ready to go to the hen party. This scene was like a cute scene. I really don't have that many like thoughts about this scene, other than it was like pretty cute, like not much drama. It was sad to see Danielle crying. I thought it was like kind of reasonable for her to kind of get a little teary-eyed to see like Polly's sister speak so glowingly about her brother, and you know how she really wants that with her own brother. But what did you think?
Um, yeah, I mean, I agree. I also think, isn't it in that same scene that Teresa like talks about Melissa and her family and how like,
Oh yeah, you're right.
yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
Melissa, like Teresa's mom would like insult Melissa.
Yes,
And
yes.
it was like
Completely
a
glossed
jokey
over that.
thing, and Teresa was just like, haha, like, laugh, honey, like it was a joke, like
Yeah.
trying to like reminisce, and it was like Melissa was like really caught off by it, like caught off guard by it, like she was like, what the fuck is happening? So I thought that was kind of funny, but I was also just like, she's trying to get along. This is like kind of an olive branch. And
Yeah.
she's doing a lot of big things this season. And normally she would like shade your ass. And she still kind of does this season. But this time it was like something really nice. And
Mhm.
Melissa responded nicely, but her confessional, she always
Yeah,
got
it was
something.
shady.
And
Yeah.
so, yeah, that happened. I also think sometimes like I get why Danielle was crying, but then like I was just like, you're making it about you again. I'm sorry. I just thought that like when I rewatched the episode. And then yeah. So those were kind of all of really my thoughts. The hen
Yeah.
party, if I remember correctly, that's like when they go to like touch the hens and the
They
hens
go to like a farm. That's
and
like the
Danielle
next
couldn't
scene.
touch one.
Yeah, it's the next
Yeah.
scene. Yeah.
Yeah, she's freaking out.
Yeah.
Um I wouldn't touch a hen, but that's just me.
Yeah.
They look kind of gross.
I feel you. Um, all right, yeah, so there's not much really to say about this scene. It was cute, whatever.
A
Um
bonding,
hmm?
a bonding moment.
Yeah, bonding moment or whatever. Okay, so we get to the next scene. They all are getting to the hen party. I don't understand why this is a thing. I think Jennifer is the one who planned this. Pen chops, Jennifer.
Yeah.
Teresa doesn't even like farms. She said it in her confessional. She doesn't like farms. Um, I don't know. I don't think this is like a very thoughtful thing personally. I think this is an Irish thing and that's why they're doing it. I don't know. Um, so they all are now trying to play catch the cock, catch the chicken, and it was cute when Teresa picked Melissa to be her partner. Um,
Yeah, it was.
with that, I guess, whatever. I thought the game was done. Like, what are we doing?
Right.
Um, I don't really have anything to say about that other than that. The next scene, we get to a different activity. Um, the guy was like, "We're gonna paint Teresa's life." Immediately, Teresa says, "Please, everyone, don't paint when I went to jail." The girls are like, "Oh my God, no!"
That was
Because
so
but
sad.
that was so sad, right? And I thought it was really sad that the fact that like she has to say that because she doesn't trust this group enough to like not do that,
Yeah.
to not be messy enough to do that. So that was pretty sad. I think I'm gonna get to the next scene because this scene's really short. She then like breaks down, she leaves for a moment, and the guy hosting them brings her a puppy to pet, and it was so
Such a
cute.
small puppy.
She was like, "What is that? Is that a puppy?" It's like, "Is that a chicken?" It was so cute. Um, yeah, she talks about in her confessional how she really tries to forget that part of her life because she missed out on some big moments in her children's lives. And I'm sure like she's sad that she didn't get to hang out with her mother before her mother passed away.
Yeah.
Um, so the girls start painting. Melissa paints Teresa's family, her mother, father, Teresa, and Joe, going from Italy to the US. And then when she explains that Teresa, she explains her drawing to Teresa. Um, she starts to like break down, and it seemed genuine.
It did.
Um,
I'll say that.
and yeah, and Teresa comes and gives Melissa a hug, and
And
it
that
was a
seemed
cute
genuine
moment.
too. Yeah.
Right, it was a good moment. Yeah. Um, Jackie drew Teresa's old home with all her daughters when they were little, which was cute. Dolores draws where Teresa grew up in Patterson Falls, cute. Margaret and Danielle draw all of Teresa's successful like cookbooks and other accomplishments, which was like I love that one because like people don't really think about Teresa and all of the accomplishments that she has
Writer.
made. Yeah. Um, cookbooks, man. Like I'm sure they're really good. I should probably get that.
The
Like
tweet,
Fabulicious. Is that what it's called?
I think the fake tweet of it saying thinking about writing a book and it's Rightting.
Oh God.
It's from Teresa's
Uh,
account. It's so
Man.
funny. But regardless, yes, I am also proud of Teresa and her achievements too.
Yeah. I thought it was like really thoughtful that Margaret and Danielle thought
Did
to do
that.
something like that instead of something else. Rachel drew where Louis and Teresa met, which was cute. Fessler drew Teresa getting engaged to Louis. I think they did that in Greece,
Hmm.
right? And then Jennifer drew Teresa flipping a table.
And
What the fuck?
it was so funny.
It was
It was
funny, but
funny.
like everyone else was so thoughtful. Like it
That's
brought tears.
thoughtful.
That's not thoughtful. That is like
That is
Teresa
thought. Are you?
immediately was like, no, 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 no.
That was
If you
amazing.
no, you're such an Aquarius, bro. Like all of this like
I
brought
I
emotion, like real,
I
like genuine.
appreciate I appreciate all of those paintings that you were just talking about. I agree with you on all
No,
of them.
no,
I'm
you're
also
right.
saying that that is also evoking emotion, happiness,
Like
and
it was like Teresa's life, and we're talking about the table flip, like she had a lot happen in her life. And we're talking about the flip. I mean, that is an iconic moment in Bravo history. I'll be real. But
but that wasn't about her. That was about Danielle. She was just mad about the way she got talked to. That's why she flipped it.
no, 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 no. I'm mad that Jennifer drew that when everyone else drew something super thoughtful. That's what I
Okay,
think. You know what I mean?
I
But
know. No, I know. It's
um,
just messing
it
with you.
was funny though. It was funny.
Really funny. I
But like
was crying.
that was childish. Anyways, all right. So after the drawing, Teresa was reflecting on the past with Melissa and says that she would like for them to not address it ever again. And Melissa said she's agreed, so I didn't want you to bring Antonio up, which was kind of tea. Teresa tries to clarify that she didn't mean any harm by that and tries to say that she would really like Melissa's children to be in the wedding in some way, especially when she saw the way that Dolores and Polly's mother and family were interacting and connecting. Jennifer asks straight up if she's trying to put the children in the wedding, and Teresa says, no, I just want peace. Melissa gets confused and says she doesn't want to be a prop in the final hour in her confessional. Okay, Teresa, oh wait, no. Then they leave the painting area, start eating. Teresa announces that Louis asked Bill to be in the wedding because they have been supportive and have been celebrating the fact that they've been always or that they've been together since they've been together. The girls are confused because they've only known each other for a year, but like Teresa and Louis have only known each other for that long too. So I don't know. Um, it's tea though. Like I'm not gonna like I understand why they're confused a little bit. At the dinner, Teresa also says she doesn't have family while Melissa's at the table. Um, and this again makes Danielle cry and can see that Melissa and Teresa are not in the best terms, and she feels emotional because of what she currently is going through with her brother and family. And she really wants for them to fix their situation before it turns out to what she's going through at this point. Um, yeah, so that's what happens. It's a very long scene. What are your thoughts? Because I'm trying to gather mine right now, child.
Um, Teresa's just funny. That's all I gotta say. She's just
That's
funny.
all.
She's just really funny for like saying, like she wants the family and
Okay, okay.
um wants the family in the wedding, but then like Jennifer asked her that and she's like, "Oh, damn. Wow. That is so evil." But then Jennifer asked her that and she was just like, "No, I just want peace." I'm like, "What does that mean then? Why would you
She
even
doesn't
say
clarify
that?"
it.
Yeah. So I just think that's really funny. And no offense to Danielle, like she's definitely going through it with her brother. I'm sure like they were really, really close from like what she was saying and all that stuff. But what Joe and Teresa have been going through, I don't know if you've been going through 15 years of it, okay? Of like what you're going through with your brother. You said Instagram, so that sounds pretty recent. Instagram's only been around for not that long. So this is like pre-Instagram.
Right.
Like it was before Antonio was born. So that's like 17 years, honestly. Because I feel like they've been beefing since like Joe and Melissa got married.
Hmm.
Um, so I don't know. I sympathize with Danielle. From the beginning of the season, I sympathize with Danielle. Not sure how I'm feeling about her at the end of the season, but I do sympathize with the fact that she was like very close with her brother because I'm very close with mine. And it would really upset me if I didn't talk to mine. But we still don't know like the whole story behind everything that's going on with her brother. And like, Joe and Melissa and Teresa are on display. Word to Melissa. So
It's very transparent. We know what's going on.
you know exactly what's going on.
Hmm.
There's still some shadiness, but like for the most part, they just don't fucking like each other.
Yeah.
So that's all I gotta say.
Yeah. I agree with everything that you have said. What was I going to say? Yeah, I really didn't like how Teresa was like, I want your children to be a part of the wedding, but then doesn't like clarify exactly what she means by that.
Yeah.
Melissa was like, I don't want my family to be a prop for you. And like, it's kind of tea when you last minute are like, I want your kids to be in it all of a sudden. Like, why didn't you have this thought from the beginning?
Or yeah.
You know?
No, I totally
Um,
agree.
so I'm gonna give I understand where Melissa's kind of coming from there, a little bit. It's disingenuous when Teresa says something like that, you know? Is that the right is that how they say it?
I
I
think
might have
so.
fucked that up. Anyways, yeah, and then the fact that she asked Bill to be in the wedding last minute, it's
It's
weird.
getting hard for me to defend her.
It's getting weird. Like what?
Like,
I mean, I know she invited Joe from the beginning, and he was just like,
yeah,
"No, my wife's not in there."
and she
But
invited Melissa
now,
to like kind of like from since episode 2 at the mozzarella party.
mm-hmm.
So like episode 3 or something. Like she's done her fair share of asking them.
Yeah,
But I just think it's really funny that she's like asking other people like right in front of her and she's just like, wow, I can't believe these other people get considered except for your family. And I'm like, but
just
they did
stop
consider them.
complaining. Yeah, stop
Like
complaining,
you're
whether
just,
it's last minute or not. Like they did
yeah,
it
yeah. And you didn't want to be a part of it.
right. Yeah. Um. Yeah, when Danielle kind of breaks down in front of everybody, it was kind of weird. But I again, like I understand
I get it.
it's just triggering.
Mm-hmm.
Um. And I think she just ultimately wants them to understand, like, you guys are in a way better space than me and my brother are, and please just take advantage of it. But Melissa and Teresa aren't doing shit about it. They just mutter underneath the rest, like, they want peace. And they don't do shit about it. It's like you have to do the work if you want peace.
Yeah.
Um, and it just doesn't look like they will or will. So yeah. Any other thoughts, or should we move on to the next scene? Oh, okay, cool.
We move.
Okay. Yeah, we move. Okay, so the girls finish up the lunch that they have and they get ready to go to a mud spa. They all jump into the mud, except for Teresa and Melissa, they're the last ones, and they end up jumping in together. Hmm. It was cute to see how all of the girls were like supporting Melissa and Teresa trying to mend their relationship in that
Yeah.
moment.
Jumping in that shit looked nasty.
It
But it was
looks
supposed to like what, like
gross.
replenish your skin and stuff. Like
Yeah, like
Laura said it
exfoliated or
had like
whatever.
health benefits. Yeah.
Yeah. Couldn't be me. I've got polished choice. Shout out to her. Um, so the girls get back to the castle. We get to Danielle having a conversation with her husband about how the girls are kind of attacking her and she's not having a good time. Okay. Um, maybe because, anyways, we'll get to that later.
Get into that.
We get to Marge getting on a phone call with Joe, and he is with her best friend who apparently lives with them. I have thoughts about that. I will get to it momentarily. So we find out that Joe's hosting guys' night, and Marge informs Joe that Bill was invited to the wedding party, and he's like, "Shut the fuck up! No way." Um, and then the girls are looks like they're having whiskey night. Everyone looks amazing
Mm-hmm.
except for Danielle. She looks like she's wearing a blanket that needs to be ironed. Um, and then we move into boys' night, and it looks like they're having like a weed night. Joe and Bill arrive. Joe
Is a
in
loser.
not yeah, Joe Gorga. I guess all the Joes are losers to me, anyways. Um, Joe and Bill arrive. Joe Benigno, Marge's Joe, informs Louis is not coming to boys' night because he's still sick, and then Joe Benigno asks Bill if he'll be going to the if he will be in the wedding,
Mm-hmm.
and Bill confirms. And that's what happens in that scene. Did you have any thoughts about that?
Nino's a cutie.
Who's a cutie?
Nino.
Who's Nino?
Oh, that's Lexi's kid. Didn't you just say his name?
I said his name.
I think
Is my
so.
memory shit? I don't
Oh,
remember.
well, I mean,
Is
they show
Lexi
Lexi's kid, I think, in one of the scenes. So I just
is
like,
Lexi Marge's friend?
mhm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't pay attention to that. I just was like, very, here's my thoughts here. Why is your best friend living with you?
I'm
Do
just
you
getting
not
like,
remember, Marge, that your nigga left his wife to cheat with you?
I
Why would he not do the same thing with your best friend who's younger than you?
my
I mean,
brain
yes,
like so rotted from Vanderpump Rules,
yeah.
like everything going on with like that cheating scandal, that I'm
Mhm.
just like triggered. So like when I saw that, I was like, why is Lexi just kicks in it with Joe? And then
It's
they said that they
weird.
lived together, and I was like, "O- okay. I mean, that's very nice of her to do that. And honestly, her house is big enough.
Mhm.
Like, she can definitely house some people. But um, yeah, I mean, I hope it's a totally appropriate situation for everyone's sake.
Yeah. I I don't know. I think I would have my best friend. I don't know if my best friend needed a place to stay and like I married, I think I would let them stay with us. But um if my man has a history of cheating, especially if he got with me, I wouldn't let that happen. Because if it happened with me, why would it not happen to me?
See, like, that's reasonable to think like that, but not a lot of women think like that because they think when they get the man, they've got the prize. They're like, oh, well, why would he do it to me? Like,
The woman's younger than you. Every nigga leaves for a younger bitch sometimes. Not every, but a lot of the times.
yeah, but like, Joe's probably like, ugh, she's got like a 4-year-old. I don't deal with that.
Oh,
Like a
maybe
child-free
potentially.
life with Marge.
You're right, potentially,
Mhm.
but some men just
But I
they
did get triggered by that for sure. Seeing that, I was like, what's going on here?
yeah, it's weird. Um I what else was I gonna say? I don't really have many thoughts about this scene. Did you have
Mm.
any other thoughts?
Mm-mm.
No. Okay. Let's get to the next scene. All right, so we get to Joe's reaction after Bill confirms that he's going to be in the wedding party. He tells Bill, "You're an afterthought," because this is 2 weeks before Teresa's wedding, but they're being put in the um, wedding party.
Yeah.
So it makes sense, but it does seem like Joe's coming from a space of jealousy a little bit, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Definitely.
Um, yeah,
What do you
so
reason to be jealous? Sorry,
your
sorry.
sister literally invited you. Anyways,
Yeah.
whatever. The rest of the boys start arriving. They all take a shot for uh Frank's new business venture, which is a pot shop. Or I don't know why I said pot shop. A dispensary is better.
Love
Like
it.
I love it. Anyways, they all get outside to smoke some weed. Joe refuses because he says he's an angel. I think it's because he actually gets paranoid, which I relate to, so I get it. Um, Frank eventually blows the weed into Joe's mouth to try to get him high. It looks like they all get high, and then
Me
what's
too.
amazing was like there was a food truck outside for their munchies. Like that was so smart. Like
That's
whoever,
yeah.
like
You should
I,
you get money.
yeah,
Someone like that.
yeah, like
Drunk munchies and the other
the
munchies.
food truck's just right out here, like where I live. That's crazy. Like
Yeah.
in my backyard, that's crazy. Like, yeah, I need to live that way.
Hmm.
Um, so they're all high, and Bill eventually suggests that Joe should get high with Teresa to get to a point of resolve with her.
It would solve everything.
Joe, yeah, which is funny. Joe then brings up to the group that Bill is in the wedding, and they all give Bill a hard time about it. And Bill's like, "Fuck you guys, I'll be doing this shit." Um, then Joe kind of downloads everybody about what's happening out in Ireland. He says that he's kind of upset with his Teresa, his sister, because she brought up Antonia in Ireland, and that her kids talk negatively about him, and he doesn't say anything, which is not true because he spoke negatively about her children when he did that podcast.
His own
Um,
goddaughter.
Own goddaughters. Yes, those kids did talk back to him, or Gia did talk back to him last season,
Mhm.
but I don't know. I thought it was reasonable for her to do that, even though maybe some
Yeah.
people are like, "Oh, it's
He
old
was
school.
being
You're supposed to
annoying.
respect it." Yeah, yeah, you're right. I feel like I would do that, but there are some people that like really, really like hold
Find that disrespectful.
uncles, their aunts, mothers, fathers, grandmothers, whatever, to very high regard, and I can understand where
I
that can
get
get
it.
disrespectful, but in my opinion, I don't give a fuck.
Don't be
Uh,
annoying.
yeah, don't get be annoying so you won't get clocked. Period. I don't give a
Exactly.
fuck how old you are.
Harry at. Like,
Period.
that's not how to say.
Um, yeah. So whatever. Buddha's husband asks Danielle's husband, because I don't remember their names. They all could be Joe at this point because everyone on the show's name is Joe. Um, he
Yeah, it's
asks
kind
he asks why his wife called her a rat. It
of
gets heated for a moment, but then they're so high that they can't take each other
yeah.
seriously. And then they kind of move forward. And I'm like, wow, like I was ready to get into some beef.
Wow, John,
I
like you need to tell your wife to fucking get off Danielle's back about this whole rat comment the way you did. Like you literally stood up for her for fucking 5 seconds. Literally.
um yeah. um
Crazy.
I just Bravo needs to stop this like men shit. Like the fact that we're going over this on Real Housewife of New Jersey,
Wives.
wives,
The men are supposed to be at
but
work.
the husbands, they need to make money. They are leeching
Not by showing up
Frank.
here.
Frank specifically is leeching off Dolores. And I'm tired of it. Anyways, we get back into this scene before I get distracted and cuss out Frank again. Um, we get back to the girls now, thank goodness, and they're doing their whiskey tasting. Jennifer is throwing it all the way back and convinces Fessler to do the same. And it looks like Fessler is kind of feeling Jennifer, and Jennifer gets really, really lit, and it's kind of funny. Um, and Teresa kind of reflects on the trip, and she said she had a great time. Marge said this was also a great trip. And Danielle all of a sudden kind of says she doesn't agree too much with that. Or she said that in a confessional, I think. And then she asks Rachel and Marge where Danielle stands with both of them. Rachel seems like she's not fucking with her, and neither is Margaret. And then that's kind of the end of that scene, and then we get to the next scene. So what are your thoughts about all that? There
I'm
was a
not
lot.
with Danielle either.
I'm not fucking with Danielle, and I'm not fucking with Rachel. I don't like these bitches.
I dislike Rachel more than I dislike Danielle. But
That's
like
fine.
Rachel, okay, I guess I don't dislike Rachel. Rachel's fine, but like she's harping onto this rat comment. Like, girl, if you're not a rat, that's fine. Then you wouldn't be like so stressed out about this if you weren't a rat. Or if you didn't do rat type things, like feed this info to Marge. So like I'm still on Danielle's side about that because it's like, okay, like get over it. And the way they're like, oh, in Jersey, that's a big fucking deal. Like it's fine though. Like in the rest of the world, it's not. It's just like a snitch. Like who cares? And if you're not one, you're not gonna be offended by that.
Us tea. Yeah. Go ahead,
Yeah.
sorry.
And like, but like Danielle is also
Yep.
just like she didn't actually talk to Laura, Jen's friend, or
Mhm.
not Jen's friend, but Marge's friend. And so she's getting all this information from Jen. She's feeling like it's like weighing on her. And I'm like, girl, this is just tea. Like, that's all it is. This is like, it's nothing heavy. And like, Melissa's been suspected of cheating on Joe for years. So, like, it's fine.
Right.
Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
You're not exposing anything new. Like, it's something that we already all know. So,
Yeah.
um, and so and also just like making everything about like her and her brother. I'm just like, what's going on here? But like that we'll get into that like more later too. But I just kind of thought about that. Like I get why they're not fucking with Danielle because I'm not either.
Yeah. Um, I'm just like not fucking with Danielle because I just don't feel like she is actually confronting these bitches, not dragging these bitches. Every time she gets into an argument with them, she leaves, she cries. It's like, I'm over that shit. Like, even my least favorite housewives, like when they're getting dragged, like at least they'll like shoot the
Take it.
shit, they'll take it and they'll like try their best to like hit back. Only
Like
ones
cry on
that
camera,
don't,
go down.
yeah. Or like don't cry. Like if you're gonna like leave and not address something, like don't cry.
she she does have like a whole thing of leaving and she keeps bringing up this whole thing with like you know, knowing that Marge has an arsenal. We know Marge has an arsenal. Like, you don't have to tell her that. Like, she's telling on herself by the way that she like
Mhm.
moves sometimes. But like
Mhm.
you're the one that keeps bringing it up.
Mhm.
Like, please move on.
Right. Yeah. Um, yeah, I guess, and I say that before this scene. Anyways, because the next scene she actually does all the things I just said. My fault. Um, I don't really have anything else to say in this scene unless you do. We can move.
Mhm.
Let's move, child. All right. All right. So the next scene. Danielle starts banging on the table and says, "I'm upset that you tried to make me look bad when you were talking along with me." And yeah, and Rachel's like, "Girl, calm down."
Literally.
And it just like it was just like really annoying. And then all of a sudden Melissa really tries to, I think she sees that Danielle is kind of overwhelmed and can't handle this stuff or whatever. So she says to Marge and Rachel that she should be mad. They should redirect their anger to
Which
Teresa
is
and Jennifer
true.
because they're the ones that went digging and put the negative spin
Which is true.
on Marge, which is true. Melissa's like spilling tea. Like,
Why are you not mad at them? But it's
yeah,
because Jen and Teresa don't give a fuck. Like they already like admitted to it. And like
yeah,
nothing's really happened. Like it's like Marge, you're not
yeah,
gonna do shit. And I know stuff about you. So I feel like
right,
that's probably why.
right. I think maybe it's just because it's like you had said, maybe it's because like they feel threatened by this new girl that's coming in and like she's gonna stay potentially. I don't know. Um,
Yeah.
and even Danielle also says in that scene, that she should redirect her anger to her old friend because of all the things that she has said about
Her after the friendship ended.
exactly. And then Marge was like, "What was said?" And Danielle's like, "This close to spilling the tea."
She was.
Or to the Melissa rumor, and Jennifer's like holding her breath, like, "I hope to God she don't say it." But she doesn't. And but instead Danielle brings up the fact that Marge spilled the Bill rumor last year, and that she can, you can always forgive, but you shouldn't forget. And then all of a sudden, Marge is a wicked bitch, and she says that she's gonna have problems in all of her relationships if she continues to live that way, which is rude. Um, and so Danielle starts crying, doesn't say anything. I mean, I think the girls are like, "Dude, that's so mean, Marge. Like, come on, let's calm down."
Hmm.
Um, and she leaves, and everybody else leaves, and doesn't clock Marge.
I know. It was disappointing.
She clicked all the way fucking down
She
for me
could have,
here.
that was a perfect opportunity to clock her. Because she was already going off on her. Like she
Right,
was talking about Jen and like defending Jen and being like, you exposed that like she like her husband fucked around on her and like that's like not cool. And today I was like listening to a podcast like earlier this morning about
mm-hmm,
this episode,
mm-hmm.
and the podcasters were like saying like they didn't think it was harsh that Marge said that because it is true. Like it they were like saying that there are probably issues with Danielle and her brother because she's not willing to forgive or whatever in like her own family. And I was like, that's kind of true, probably.
Yeah.
Like there's definitely something deeper and like it's affecting her, but she's also like projecting it into like this fight that she has going on with Marge. She shouldn't have to be in a fight with Marge. Why do you care about this information anyway?
Like, what are you scared of Marge digging up on you? What are you scared of? Like, what is it? Just say it now. Say it in front of everybody now. Take ownership of it before she digs it up. Like,
Yeah. Like, I don't really know. Yeah, I don't really know what she's scared of. And like her knowing this stuff about Melissa, like, girl, it's gossip. Just tell her.
right.
Yeah. But tell her so that I can expose Marge.
Yeah. Um, yeah. I mean, I don't really have any other thoughts on this episode. It was a lot. I'm glad this Ireland trip is over.
Yeah.
Um, it like they didn't really do much. They just went to dinner, nothing fun. Like they went to a farm. Like
No, I
it
hope Teresa
wasn't.
went to an actual bachelorette party when she got back.
Yeah, like I hope she's got some male strippers or something. Like I know she's not really into that. I think she's really loves Louis or whatever. Um, so yeah.
Mhm.
Did you have any other thoughts before we? Because that was the end of the episode.
No, I really had high hopes for Danielle. Like just when someone's like, "Oh, I have a hot temper," like you're just like, "Okay, well, I want to see
You're
it."
full of shit.
Yeah, like I don't believe it when people have to announce that anymore, you know?
Hmm.
Like, where is it? She's definitely like feisty, but like I'm not really seeing the fighter because
Yeah,
you're going against another newbie, Rachel, and now you're feeling overwhelmed. You're
yeah,
going against Marge. Marge, as far as you know, doesn't have anything on you, but you
yeah,
know something about her, and you could use that to your advantage, but instead you leave crying and
yeah.
disappointed every single time.
I think about housewives that like cry. That's Candace, Candy. Who else cries? They put up a fight
And
though.
Shaw,
Oh, Jen Shaw. But they will put up a fight though while they're crying. Like Candy is like, that's my mama. You can't say nothing about my mom. Like she,
Jen
you know what I'm
Shaw,
saying?
yeah. Jen Shaw literally
Candace.
said,
Oh,
like when she's crying in season one, she's like, "Oh, you're gonna go be friends with the girl or the woman who
the
fucked your
fucked
grandpa?"
grandpa. Yeah.
While in tears,
And
she's
tears.
yeah,
Candace will read a bitch while she's crying.
like
Like, there's really no excuse, Danielle. Like, just be better. I may, if you come back next season and you develop this skill, I may get on your side. But
she'd be a
you've been clicking
potential
down.
daughter to you.
Absolutely not.
Oh
I might
wow,
just like her. I might just like her. I don't like her right now.
yeah, she's kind of yeah, she's like
Jennifer, also, I have released Jennifer. She's not my daughter anymore. No, absolutely not. Um,
dead.
none of these New Jersey bitches are my daughters right now. Maybe Dolores, but she uses Ozempic, and that's another conversation for another day.
It's not cute.
It's not cute. Okay, well, let's end this video. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to, again, like, comment, subscribe to our channel. We'll be back again with another video. I don't know what else to say, but thank you so much. Thanks again for your patience. Bye.